Have Tottenham been found out? So we're going to talk about the Chelsea-Tottenham match, Everton's potential administration, and that ridiculous Forest VAR decision. So there has been some reports of Everton going into administration, which is absolutely ridiculous. I just feel sorry for the fans of football, like in general. So it's to do with the apparent 777 takeover, and they haven't done their books right. But I'll link in the description all the sources that I found. Some of them might be true, some of them might be not, some of them might be clickbait, we don't know. So Everton looking at a 9 points deduction for next season, which is insane. They've already had 2 points deductions this year. Can they just not have it in one big package? And then my thoughts of going on what's happening to City. They've got 115, everyone's waiting on it. They're not scattering it about like they are for Everton and Nottingham Forest. I know it's a bigger charge, the 115, and it might be more superior, but it's still ridiculous. Like, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'd rather in the Premier League on merit instead of just a point deduction. Everton fans, would you think? Genuinely, I think it's outrageous. But if they have done wrong, obviously, then, you know, you can't really fight against it. Yeah, what do you think? So another outrageous decision. VAR have actually leaked the penalty for Nottingham Forest. This is quite damning. So Howard Webb has been talking with his little friend Michael Owen, probably the worst commentator ever. Well, there is Lee Dixon, but that's another story. About the penalty Nottingham Forest should have been awarded. So here's the audio of what happened.
Yeah, I understand why. We would have preferred an intervention on this situation. The referee waves away the penalty appeal. The VAR looks at it and asks himself the question, was the non-award clearly and obviously wrong, and came to the conclusion it wasn't. You hear him describing two players tussling for the ball. He doesn't see a clear action by Young that he considers to be worthy of intervention, one that reaches the threshold of being very clear. But you know, we would have preferred an intervention for the referee to go to the screen to make a judgment for himself in this situation, and probably would have come out with a different outcome if that had happened.
Yeah, it's just another VAR decision. Like, if they just didn't say anything about it, there would be uproar, but I think everyone would kind of sweep it under the carpet. Obviously not Nottingham Forest fans, but it's just another decision. You've got the penalty incident with Tottenham and Liverpool. It's just so many things are happening now. Like, I don't know whether to be better without it or with it. I like VAR. I just hate the people that are running it. Not if you're watching this and you work with VAR, you know, but they should have ex-players in the room, not people that support other teams, allegedly. In Europe, you don't hardly hear of any horrible VAR decisions. It's only in England. You look at the Champions League match, Real Madrid, there was no VAR input at all. It was just referee decisions. I love that ref anyway. But it was just, there was no input. And you let the game flow. In England, you just get VAR decisions that last about 4 hours and the people in the stands are just thinking, what's going on? You celebrate twice, you celebrate a goal, you're thinking it's like the last goal of the game, like, or the winning goal, and then you just sit there and wait. Oh, it's just unbelievable, man. Honestly. But yeah, again, you feel for the fans as well. That could be costly. Can you imagine a team gets relegated on a VAR decision? It's happened before. Look at that Aston Villa goal last season or a few seasons ago where the ball went over the line. I know it was goal line technology, but it's still the same thing. The ball went over the line and you could clearly see it, and that made Aston Villa stay up. And another thing, right? Every game nearly, you see the refs like fiddling about with their stuff. Charge your stuff beforehand. You see bands do sound check to make sure the equipment works and to see if everything is running properly. You get refs are like fiddling about with their stuff and like nothing's charged. Like, who is running this show? Mate. Anyway, but yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. And you look at even Wolves. How many decisions have gone against them this season? How many points do you reckon they've dropped? It's insane. You know, human error. English human error, I guess. So we move on to the last talking point, Chelsea versus Tottenham. So I didn't actually watch the match because I was working. So, you know, I've just seen the highlights. But another set piece, Tottenham. You've conceded another set piece. And Ange Postecoglou has just said, we're not going to work on set pieces. And you've got Ryan Mason on a set piece coach. Do you know what I mean? This is not the Scottish League. No offence to the Scottish League. You're not playing Hearts every week. This is the Premier League. And like, Tottenham fans, what's going on? Have you had enough yet? Genuinely. That's your Achilles heel at the minute, set pieces, and teams are going to play for it. You've been found out. Genuinely. Playing a high line and really bad at set pieces. Arsenal have got a set piece coach. Arsenal scored so many goals in set pieces this year because they've practiced it. Set pieces is a massive part of the game. You know, corners, free kicks. You know, where you're going to stand, what you're going to do. You know, you've got Ben White just taking the gloves off the goalkeeper. I'm trying to be non-biased, It was really funny. But even still, they've practiced that. They've, you know, mastered the dark arts about it. And with Postecoglou's going, oh, it doesn't really matter. Well, if it doesn't matter, why are you conceding? And it could lose you games. You're fighting for the Champions League, Tottenham. It's just really, it must be so frustrating, genuinely. Like, honestly, what do you think? Chelsea aren't great this season, but they're having quite a strong second half of the season. I know they lost 5-0 to Arsenal, but they're getting points. They could be getting a European competition next year, you know. I did say who was more under pressure, Postecoglou or Pochettino. I think it might be Pochettino that's more under pressure. But now you're thinking Postecoglou, 100%. He just seems stuck in his ways. You know, there's no plan B, is there, at all? It's just absolutely insane. We've got a massive weekend. Huge weekend of football. You've got Arsenal, Bournemouth. You've got Man City versus Wolves. Who's going to drop points, everyone? Squeaky bum time for the Premier League and the Championship as well. Ipswich, one more point, mate. One more point, Ipswich, to get to the Premier League. What a fairy tale that's going to be. So on the channel, we will be covering City versus Wolves. So look out for the live streams. Come and join. Come and have a chat. Do it. We're going to be live on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and wherever. But yeah. And what team do you support? Comment below. I'll be doing another video Monday. Have a good weekend, everyone. Nice one. Take care.